Okay, Representative McCarthy and Treganza in the negative. Is there a motion on the nursing home contract, or do you just want to continue on with the nursing home?
I'll make a motion to approve
The contract?
There's a motion by Representative Schmidt to approve the agreement between the Carroll County Commissioners and the Mountain View community for April 1st, 2012 through March 31st, 2014. Second by Representative Fleck. Any further discussion? Yes, Representative Babson.
Madam Chairman, I'd recommend we waited till we got through the entire budget for the nursing home. Not that we can change the negotiations, but we may come up with some more suggestions that for the next negotiating session that the commissioners might want to hear.
I'm sure if we have any suggestions, we'll tell them whether we voted on this or not.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go. Representative Umberger, would you call a roll? Then this is a motion to approve the contract for the nursing home for 1 year. 1 year?
2 years.
2 years, I'm sorry. 30 cents for 2012 per hour and 40 cents per hour for 2013. Representative Albright.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I guess I'm replowing some ground that I've plowed before, a number of times, but we have no statutory authority to approve the contract. There's no reason for us to approve the contract. We don't negotiate the contract. I don't understand why we're voting to approve a contract we have no statutory authority to approve. I mean, they do the contract. We approve the numbers. So I will be voting no because I don't believe we should be even weighing in on this issue. It's really not our purview to put our stamp on it. I mean, we finally actually saw the contracts and past delegations. We were approving contracts that we had never even saw.
Point of order, Madam Chairman.
Yes,
If
Commissioner.
you read the contract, it's in there subject to the approval of the delegation.
It's not subject to our approval of the contract. Again, we're replowing ground. It's subject to our approval of the appropriations so you can make those. If we don't appropriate enough money, then you're not bound by that contract to give them that money. We do not approve the contract.
Representative McCarthy.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. According to RSA 273, the delegation is the legislative body of the county, and the legislative body of the county is required to either approve or disapprove all government employee contracts.
Any further discussion? Okay, Representative Umberger, would you call the roll?
Yes. Representative Aldrin.
No.
Representative Babson.
Yes.
Representative Chandler.
Yes.
Representative Fleck.
Yes.
Representative Knox.
Yes.
Representative McCarthy.
No.
Representative McConkey.
Yes.
Representative Merrill.
Yes.
Representative Pettingill.
No.
Representative Scalia.
Yes.
Representative Schmidt.
Yes.
Representative Tregenza.
No.
Representative Umberger. Yes. Representative Patton.
Yes.
10-4.
Okay, so the contract is approved for this year. Thank you very much.
2 years.
Okay. 2 years, I'm sorry.
Keep in mind, we've saved money by going 2 years. We don't have to hire an
Yes.
attorney.
Thank you very much for doing that. Okay, let's go now to nursing department. There have been changes that are already been incorporated. The bottom line number on page 24 is $6,091,997. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Representative Fleck moves to approve $6,091,097 for the nursing department. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Representative Knox. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
No.
Representative McCarthy in the negative. Okay, let's go to plant operations.
Madam Chairman, are we ever gonna have discussions on any of these?
If you
Go
want
on.
to, just, I'm waiting and I don't hear anything. Do you?
Gotta move right along here, Representative Batson.
We're moving right along.
Raise your hand, go right ahead.
Raise your hand or
Otherwise,
yell
we're
at
going
me
right
if
by.
you don't see it, okay? Plant operations, bottom line number is $782,023. Any discussion, motion, Representative Umberger?
Yes. With the introduction of the bio furnace, I noticed that our heating expense goes from 140 to 151. And the furnace, the new furnace, should be installed within the next few months. And so my concern is, are we in fact saving any money? Because last year, we spent $140,000 in heating costs, and we're projecting $151,000. So, and I'm not sure that propane has gone up or is projected to go up. There is a plethora, I guess, of natural gas and propane out there. And it's my understanding that the price is in fact going down. And so I'm concerned as to where we stand by increasing the heating cost by $11,000, when we expect a minimum of 4 months of heating, you know, September, October, November, and December is generally when we start with the heating. Recognizing that, anyhow, that's just my comment.
Question.
And if it were me, I would recommend that we stay at the same amount
Well, why don't you make that a motion?
for next year.
Is that so moved?
I can move that.
Go ahead.
Representative Umberger moves that we, on heating expense 065, stay at level to be 147.80. Is there a second?
Yeah.
There's a second by Representative Chandler. Is there discussion, Representative Babson?
Yeah, I agree with Representative Umberger. And don't forget, as soon as this is hooked up, we will be heating our hot water with the system for an additional reduction in cost.
Okay, further discussion. Representative McCarthy, did you have your hand up? No? Any other discussion? Yes. Yes, okay.
Bless you.
It-
I'm available for comment.
Okay, anybody want to talk about that with our heating person?
He's in charge of maintenance, plant
Maintenance,
operations.
I'm sorry.
He can speak to it better
Yeah.
than.
Well, as soon as the pellet boilers come online, we will be saving costs. And when it comes time to purchase pellets, I'm sure that that money will be moved from the heating expense line to the pellet line, and you'll see an actual savings. When that'll happen is yet to be determined, because it's still under construction. But to answer Representative Umberger's point, that yeah, you will see a reduction.
Okay,
But how much that reduction will be is yet to be determined, and next year, you know, I want to see a year experience, a year's numbers before we actually come up with hard figures. So you have to just remember that these numbers are best guesses.
okay, Bob, and can you, for the record, you can, your last name, Bob?
Murray, M-U-R-R-A-Y.
Bob Murray from Plant Operations. Okay, Representative McConkey and then Merrill.
Thank you. Question for Mr. Murray. New building, I'm suggesting there's going to be more water usage. Do you feel it necessary? Do you have a good handle on how many gallons you're using without it being metered? Do you think it's something you've got a number plugged in here?
I would defer that question to Will. I don't read the numbers. I don't have account of what the water usage is.
If I could ask
Will?
Will that. Well, would you feel more comfortable with a meter at this? Is this your largest usage?
We don't have in particular meters on each building here, so it's hard to say that I know that building is more. Obviously, we would come to the conclusion that they have more people in there that they use more water. But it did seem, we're coming to the end of the first quarter here, so we're going to be reading the meters probably at the end of this week. It did seem at the last time, end of fourth quarter, we had almost a whole quarter of them in there. It seemed like it increased a little bit, but we didn't want to make any for sure's until we get some more time, just like Bob said, so that we were going to look at this quarter that should be reading at the end of the month, and I can give more of an accurate answer to that question once we have another quarter under our belts.
So you don't feel it's an issue for you this year, possibly next year?
Currently, we don't have any reason to feel that there would be an issue.
Thank you.
Okay, Representative Merrill?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chairman. Question for Mr. Murray. I think I heard you say, and I may be mistaken, but I think I heard you say you were going to reduce the heating cost because you were taking out the pellets and putting them in a pellet line. That's just transferring, if I interpret you right. That's not reducing anything. The bottom line's still going to stay the same.
Maybe it's semantics, I guess. You're not going to be spending as much as you budget for.
Okay.
If that, the sooner you get it
No,
over.
that's fine. It's just that not the way it came out. I just want to-
Yeah, and if you will look at line 086 on page 25, the pellets is $1, and we know that that's not gonna stay once we get the stove in place. Representative Babson?
Thank you. Madam Chairman, it's inconceivable to me that our electricity costs have gone from 3 years ago to this year, well over $100,000, more than doubled. It's up $74,000 over last year's in the old nursing home. We don't have any more people. Yes, the place is a little bit bigger, so you could expect some increase in electricity during each month, but this is astronomical.
I agree.
I do believe that we talked a little bit about this last week, and there was no electrical comparison or analysis done for the new building. It was only on the heating. Electrical costs can be estimated on a square foot basis. In comparison to other nursing homes, we estimate, and this is from EGA, this is the memorandum that the commissioners gave us last week. The electrical cost can be estimated between $2 and $2.50 a square foot, and in parentheses, $171,000 to $214. This assumes a rate of 13 cents per kilowatt. Commissioner, do you have anything to add to that?
I don't.
Yeah. I do believe it is over, and what to do about it.
I can tell you, I can add if you don't mind, that we do have a building that is twice the square footage, yet it is insulated far better than the old building could ever dream of doing. We had 3 heating units on the roof, not mentioning baseboard at the old building, that were running fans 24/7. This building, we have 15 that are running 24/7. These units do have air conditioning, where at the old building we didn't. We just put window air conditioners in the windows. We do have more lighting, although it is all high-efficiency lighting. They're all fluorescents. And the lighting system is on an energy management system. It's automated. The lighting is programmed to turn on and off at certain hours and at certain light levels. The heating system is maintained at the lowest level that the residents are comfortable at, same as the air conditioning. All I can say is that all measures are being taken to keep the energy costs down, but the size and scope of the building led us to where we are today with the electric bill.
Yes. Representative Schmidt.
Get to the commissioners, I had mentioned a while ago that there is a competitive market for the purchase of electricity. I'm wondering if you have explored that, or... In fact, there was one consultant, I gave him your phone number, Commissioner. I don't know if he called you or not.
I don't remember getting a call, but I did talk with the one of the secretaries to check into the possibility of doing that. I believe, I could stand corrected, that whoever we have it with now does not do that, would have to go outside. I think you mentioned if we had such and such an electric company, they would do it for free.
Oh, I can have I had one fellow, call, he happens to sit on my committee, and he explained the process to me. It's quite easy. And what they do, it's an analysis of 6 months of electric purchase. He says almost off the bat, then they go out into the free market, and he says there's very significant savings to be had. So as an example, if this entire municipal complex is buying directly out of PAS of New Hampshire, you have an opportunity to probably knock off 30% of your electric. And nothing changes. The electricity will still kill you if you touch it. It's the same electric, but it's just how you purchase it.
Call that gentleman's name again.
I will do that. I have a committee meeting on Tuesday. I will make sure he calls you, and very simple process. And, you know, when you're dealing with an electric bill like this,
Sizable.
very significant savings.
Okay. Representative Chandler, Babson, and Umberger.
I thought you signed up with the Association of Counties on this thing.
Yes, we have.
That's what I mean, it's the same thing he's
Yes,
talking
we
about.
have, and I
Yeah,
believe last
they're already
year we
doing
saved
that.
$600, something like that, last year.
That's all.
Well, that was only a part of the year. We didn't have the new nursing home on it. This building wasn't on it. It was just strictly the old nursing home. Now we've got everybody
You're
on it.
participating in that program now.
Right.
It's okay, thank you. Don't we have an electric bill?
Sure we do.
Well, can we, how much is it, for which month? And
That answer was coming.
and then if we could get that, and then I have a question, non-electric, should I wait? Or?
Yeah, well, do you want to do the
Well, just see if
motion on
we
the
get
heating?
electric bill, we ought to be able to narrow down, pretty good
Yes,
idea.
well, it's coming, but Kathy is bringing it here.
Well, on,
Madam Chairman, he answered my question, so don't worry
Okay,
about
so it's all right with you. Representative Umberger, we do have a motion on the floor about the heating, but I don't know whether this is all encompassing both, right? Go ahead,
Oh, that's
Representative
right.
Umberger.
Should be on heating.
Yeah.
It was so long ago.
I know.
Let's vote on heating, and then we can.
Okay, there's a motion on the
Unless that's a
floor
question.
made by Representative Umberger, seconded by Representative Chandler, to change the heating account 065 to 147.80. That's the motion. Okay? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
No.
All grand in the negative.
Did you say 140?
147.80.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, I apologize.
From 151.
I thought you just reduced it to the 113. That's.
No,
I apologize.
it's gone from
Fine. I apologize.
151.20 to 140.70.
Right.
So we're in, that's unanimous, okay, thank you.
I apologize.
All right, that's good. All right, now we can go, Representative Umberger. We are waiting for Representative Chandler's question on electrics. Go ahead.
Oh, no, that was my comment that we had been talking about, I mean, the motion on the floor was heating, and we,
But I do have a question
Okay.
on another category.
All right.
Whatever you find appropriate.
Yes, 780. Okay, that's.
Okay, the amount of money for that bottom line 065 will be what it was last year. For what we did was 147.80. I'm not doing 75 cents. I have a hard enough time with dollars.
That's a good idea.
Representative Chandler, you have a question?
I had a question on the salary line.
Plant operations, okay.
Yes, there's an increase of 49,866. I just wondered, what, is that more people, is it more, I can't remember, it's all raises?
We had 2 additional maintenance staff added to the maintenance department.
When did they, excuse me if I may?
Yes.
This was budgeted and approved for last year, but they didn't actually end up being hired. One I hired this past September, and one I just hired about a month ago, so it was.
Well, if I may,
Yes,
the amount then that, and that's okay, but we budgeted 196,000 for those 2 extra people, and now that line item is 223, which is an increase of $26,000. Is that just increases in salaries, or?
9 months.
It's 30 cents an hour.
Last year, we did a budget for a full year for those people because we knew we weren't gonna have them all year.
Thank you.
How many additional maintenance men?
2, and that was determined, we knew that going through the whole process.
Bob wanted to wait to see where that person could be used most efficiently, so only one was hired last year. And that was only part year.
Okay? Any further questions?
Madam Chairman?
Yes, Representative Knox.
Maybe I'm missing something here or reading the wrong lines, but if we're decreasing the heating expense with the idea of the pellet boiler coming online, and we've implied that the pellet costs will increase, do we need to show an increase in the budget for pellet expenditures on the 066?
Yeah, I hope not.
I mean, I lost something in the logic there if we don't.
Everybody else has got it wrong.
I assume that what's going to happen is that somewhere along the line, you're going to pay money for pellets. I don't know how much money we're going to pay for it, but we don't know that
It'd
yet.
have to be a transfer from one line item to the pellet line item.
Do you feel that you have adequate money to cover that?
I have to rely on Bob.
Don't have any idea.
It,
Go ahead, Representative Mumford.
it only makes sense that we have put in this pellet boiler that is supposed to produce savings for us, that we should be able to reflect total heating costs at 140. And I think that if we can't match our cost from last year, then I think we may have wasted a lot of money on the pellet boiler. And that's just my feeling about it. And you know, this pellet boiler, as we know, came in a grant and plus a lot of our own money to install it. So I'm expecting the savings to come back to us in reduced cost for propane, and certainly would be offset by
I
any
think at the
additional
moment,
cost.
do you want
May I-
to add anything to the pellet stove or
No.
to the pellet line or whatever? Yes, Bob.
I think when this, correct me if I'm wrong, please, I think when this budget for the heating line was put together, nobody knew when the pellet boilers were going to come online. So it was really hard to come up with a number of how much we were going to spend or not spend. So I think this line, what you're seeing is under the assumption that the pellet boilers are not online, period. If we do bring them in, and the earlier that we bring them in, that's all the better for the county and the taxpayer. I will tell you that 1 year estimate of pellet expense is 400 tons of pellets, which is roughly $84,000 more or less. I'm not sure what the exact number is. It's $80-something thousand. So that's going to be a reduction off of the propane line, more or less. You get it, you know, don't forget we have the kitchen that we still use propane for. We dry with propane, but it's that much less that you're going to spend on pellets than you do with propane. I hope I made that clear. And when we do end up buying pellets, we're going to prorate it for the amount of time that we're going to be in there for the rest of the year, burning them for the rest of the year.
Okay, so what we now have is $140,780 in 065 heating expense. Any further discussion? Representative Babson.
Yes, on page 25, excuse me, you have care of grounds, $55,000. You go over to the farm income, who does the vast majority of care of the grounds, and the revenue doesn't even come close. I thought it was supposed to be a wash, or close to it. It's page 3 on the revenue.
Okay, the question is, when you look at the care of grounds of the nursing home at $55,000 under 081, and you compare it to the maintenance income of the farm on page 3 of our revenue, it's only $15,000. Is there a reason why,
I'd ask Will to do that, Madam Chairman,
Yeah.
but I know rubbish removal is included in care of grounds, which is an expense. The other money of plowing walkways and cutting lawns and so forth is in the income. So I know there's additional expenses. Is the pumping of the sewage included in there?
No, that has its own, thing. But you have to add in the revenue for the farm, you have to add in the use of equipment and maintenance income, which comes up to 60,000. And for some reason, we have a line item we call maintenance income at this place. And we have to add in another 20,000, so that's $80,000 between the two budgets. Not only from their budget, from this building, and so on and so forth. So we haven't changed, I haven't changed anything on my end, and I don't believe the nursing home has changed anything on their end. We're kind of operating the same way we've always had with those two numbers.
That explains it, thank you. I hadn't looked at use of equipment.
okay. All right, good enough. All right, we are in the planned operations. Any further discussion?
Madam Chairman?
Yeah, and then Representative Pettingill after Commissioner Sorensen.
If we know already that the pellets are going to cost us $80,000, can we make that shift now, rather than the commissioners have to vote to change the line item? Just take it out of the heating expense? Would you agree with that?
I would do 75% of that because we're already through for the first quarter.
We don't do.
Wait a minute, Representative Chandler, and then Pettingill.
I don't want to jump in.
No, this has nothing to do with that, so.
It's 6.5, heating expense certainly covers pellets. I don't think you have to shift anything. I mean, that's the heating expense.
But you will have to,
Okay.
you'll have to come to us.
As long as you're agreeable to the commissioners changing that line item, we know
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
You've always done that. I'm comfortable with I know that Representative McCarthy is not, but I'm comfortable with being able to switch in between lines. Go in between departments, and that's, you've got to come to us.
Well, the point being, if I may repeat,
Yeah.
I don't even care if you, I mean, we can ask how much pellet expense is. It's a heating expense. You don't have to list it there.
Right, doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Same as, you don't list propane, just says expense.
Well, we
so-
wanted to list the difference between
No, I understand that.
propane and-
It's going to be important to know that, but I don't think you need to do anything right now, in my
Okay.
opinion. but-
Okay? So we're not going to do that. Representative Pettingill, did you?
Yeah, I just had a question, and it was about the two maintenance people that got hired, and I was wondering if that was to take care of the requirement for ARRA money.
No.
Okay. Did we need to add people for the ARRA money? Because I thought that was a part, because jobs was a part of the ARRA acceptance, right?
No. What?
Of the acceptance of ARRA money, you had to have jobs. You had to make jobs available. In everything that I've read as far as the county went, I didn't know if that was a part of that
Those two were not tied
qualification.
with the ARA.
Okay,
Right.
okay, I was just going to, thank you.
Okay. Representative McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm sure you have, but if you're taking into account, is it 10 tons of pellets that are free?
Yes.
Which are included in the purchase price of the pellet boilers? Have you taken that into account?
Do you want to make a
10
motion?
ton are included in the contract with the boilers.
I know,
10
but I'm
ton.
talking about
He's talking about a lot
the
more
cost
than
of the
10.
$80,000 cost for pellets. Have you taken the 10 tons that we're getting free into account?
No, but when you're talking 400 tons annually, 10 tons is really dropping the bucket.
That's what you're figuring on, 400 tons?
Since 400 tons, that's what the engineer who designed the heating system of our building
Oh, I thought it said
figured.
140 tons, 400 tons. Okay. All right. Is there any further discussion on planned operations? Is there a motion? I have a bottom line number, Representative Chandler.
I would move, and I'll answer an electric expense after my motion, but I would move the figure of 771,603.
Second.
And Representative Umberger seconds that.
Where is that at?
Okay, on page 25. And you're going to the bottom line total for plant operations in the middle of the page.
Yep.
It was 782. It is now 771,602. My calculator did the same thing to you.
I had 603, but I don't care, which is it?
What, it didn't, 603? Okay. 771,603.
I've always
Made
accepted
by-
so too, so buck here and a buck there, it all adds up, you know.
Chandler, Representative Chandler moves, Representative Umberger second. Any discussion?
I just, the electric, thank you very much for providing us. The electric showed a $16,000 bill in December.